with Allies USA, and today we are talking about our transformational retreats. I'm here with Tom Kametz with Financial Zen. Welcome, Tom. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about why you decided to come to our new transformational retreat.
I think it was more, interesting people talking about taking a deeper dive into maybe how you view the world, how you interpret the world. And I always like something that will challenge the way I think, and maybe let me see things in a new perspective. And I was willing to just go try it out. I had also heard about the bonding experience that happens with people that you go through this with. And, it's always great to connect with real people, and especially in a pandemic, it's even more valuable, I think.
So tell me a little bit more about, you mentioned a different outlook. What kind of different outlook have you seen since you had the experience about a week and a half ago?
Yeah, I think some of your predetermined thoughts maybe, or the way you view the world is almost set and on autopilot. And by going to this retreat, I really think it kind of reprogrammed my mind to remember that the way I see things isn't always the only way or the correct way, or that other people's experiences will have affected them in a way that, to me, I might misinterpret. So being open and being open to the idea of thinking differently has really been a big takeaway for me, and it's kind of eye-opening, and just a good reminder that it's not just your way or the highway, right?
We all kind of think it's our way or the highway, right?
It's kind of autopilot,
so true, right?
It's kind of a good reset to me.
Have you noticed that it's expanded into different avenues in your life?
Yeah, for sure. Whether it's personal relationships, friends that I know have gone through things in their life that were difficult that maybe I couldn't relate to, clients of mine who I see with a certain personality or certain walls up that are a little bit hard to figure out. I feel like I have a new insight of some possibilities, and maybe some new insight of how I can help them open up or think differently themselves. So for me, I've already started to maybe analyze people in my life to start to understand the wheels are turning, and I can see things in a new light.
So your understanding of both yourself and other people have expanded?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a good eye-opener, and so I really do appreciate that.
So we went through, I actually attended with you, so it's kind of a cool experience because we both kind of know what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
We've only been through half of it.
Yeah.
Right now. What do you think it's going to be like going forward for the next portion of the transformation?
I'm sure it's just a progression of what we're already starting. Once you can shift your mind to start seeing things in a new way, I think when we left, we agreed that it was our job to start doing that in the world. And I think when that becomes your new norm and you start to live your life differently and see the world differently, I think then you can take that next step and build upon that, and maybe, I can't say for sure because we haven't gone through it, but
right.
I would say that's probably the basis, is that we need to shift a little bit ourselves before we could really take the next step and understand a deeper dive into this type of thing.
What I think is so cool about it is going into the experience, you don't know what you're going to experience.
Yeah.
And going into the second portion, it's the same thing. But isn't that really how life is? You never know what your experience is going to be.
I think that's the benefit of it. Is
right?
If you already knew what was coming, your mind would be thinking, but if it's fresh and new and unexpected, a lot of ways you could say, it really does make you become more genuine in how you experience that, because you haven't overthought it, right?
You experience what you're experiencing in that moment.
At that time, without any judgment, and it's just you're reacting, and it really helps you kind of create some of that raw emotion and raw thoughts that wouldn't have happened otherwise. So,
what would you say to somebody who is thinking about maybe attending one of these retreats?
Yeah, whether you have thoughts or ideas of your own situation that you're not maybe comfortable with or want to figure out or explore more about yourself, learn about yourself, why you're a certain way, it's really, I think it's really beneficial to do that. And like I said, if you'll walk away with a different perspective of the world. And that's the greatest thing to me, is just to be able to see things in a new perspective. You can always go back to your old perspective, but if you have something to contrast it with, you will be able to decide whether your old way was better or maybe there's some new tools that you can use. And I feel like when we walked away from that seminar, we all had a different outlook and a different perspective.
Yeah.
And it's just a tool for you to use, and I think it's powerful.
So going into it, did you know a lot of the people who were at the retreat, or did you go into it not really knowing anybody?
I had known, I would say half of them just through small contacts at different events where I knew their name and I had maybe a reminder in my mind of what their business was, but I didn't know them on the level I do now. I feel like the connections that are made, the experience you go through together, the support you give each other during those times really changes the dynamic of that relationship, and it makes, everything comes in a deeper level after that.
It's like family, right?
It does turn into that.
And I would happen to say even better than family in many respects, because it had this experience together that you could never have had with other people.
Yeah, there's no predisposed, tether between us because we're family. It was an independent experience. And you have people that you can go talk to and relate to about these things who have been there with you. And again, because they're not family, there's a little bit of freedom in that you can have that experience, that conversation, and walk away and know that you both gain something from it and then come back together when you need help. And it's, very different, very powerful, especially when they're in your community, the people you're going to interact with down the line. It's a great experience to have had together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Tom.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming and sharing your experience with us. So at Allies, we try to help support our community, and one of the ways that we are doing that right now are with these transformational retreats. If you'd like to learn more, contact us at allies.usa.com. Thank you for being with us.